we're doing the pivot table. You go to insert, pivot table. So they pick the entire range.
Do you want to plug?
You go to,
SB was trying to reach you. She just
Okay.
said give her a call when you're finished here before you leave. She has a question on something.
Okay.
From the report we just ran, if I can get a copy, I need to just whittle it down to unique course codes that only were under MTAU, so I can give it to SB. She wants to know, like, have we taught, 40 courses, 10 courses, whatever, not like if I taught interviewing skills 5 times, but interviewing skills as unique course code. So I just want to be able to give her that before I leave today.
all right.
Because I guess she has a goal this year to ensure that we offer like 70 different courses.
So you can pull from the report that I
Yep.
sent.
I
on
told her that same thing. I was like, oh, we're good because she already got a report up.
No, but I'm saying you don't even have to wait for it. Remember I had a tab with just the course.
Under the
The
MTA,
course,
oh, you
yeah.
sent it already to me.
Mhm.
Excellent.
You got it. Okay, we're good then.
Beautiful.
All right, so going back here, it's gonna grab all the data and it's gonna put it in a new worksheet by itself. So we're gonna click OK. And now you're gonna put down here, what is it that you wanna do the accounting on? So that would be the class, this is the class name, right?
Class name.
Let's just do the class name. What is that? Probably course name, right? So that's gonna go into the rows,
Okay.
right? It's gonna be listed. Now, of that, you want to count how many times
So
each one of
the
them?
ID,
Yeah,
right?
mhm. You can do, because it's just gonna be a count, you can do a count on any field, but yeah, that's usually a good idea. So let's grab the BSc ID values. All right.
Because is it
Fine.
participant or the number of classes? I think it's
Exactly.
participant, right?
It's actually participant, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm, mhm. Now, you notice when I drag the BSc ID over here, right, it defaults to some,
Mhm.
which what it's doing is actually taking your BSc ID
Oh,
number
and add it,
and then
okay.
adding
adding
more.
that up. Yeah,
So
right.
what,
So
count?
rather than that, you do count.
Fancy word,
Mhm.
count, right?
And that's the value settings and your count. And that should be it, right? That should be it for that. You want this to say total amount instead of count. All right, and that should give you a list. But now to make it easier, she's breaking it down here by another field. So let me go back to that report. See what she has to
You
break it
didn't do
down
that?
by.
You didn't do that?
No, Marita
Oh.
did. Yeah,
Oh.
she's a PowerPoint lady.
Alright,
She
okay.
she put the name of the employees over here. Do you want that?
Please.
You sure?
Yep, I
Okay.
wanted to look just.
That means you're gonna put the employee name under the course name, right? So that
Okay.
at any time you can do this, right? You got options over here. You can do a right click and
Collapse all.
collapse all. Yeah, what is that? Expand, collapse entire field. All right,
Perfect, okay.
looking like that now.
Okay.
What else she did for you? She put a slide for department. So for that, you go over here, insert slide. So mhm.
Sean, can I just ask- I'm sorry, I just want to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Your data pool was from January 1st of this year. Thank you.
So do you think we should include,
No, only what's on the on the
I
first
know.
So you're gonna make the
No,
appointment?
because I'm saying, I wonder if we should include agency and then from agency break down to department. Because let's say they want to use this report for a specific agency now, you know?
and that's
So would it be
be a
paying?
paying?
Would it be paying?
I think so. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. All right. Yep. Insert paying.
Actually, that's a little complicated. It's not really, it's not
What?
paying for everybody. That's the problem. So for example, if I was on this report, you would want to capture my working, not my paying,
Mm.
you know? Hmm. Like for you, you would come up under transit,
Headquarters.
but you should really be HQ.
Right.
So that's why this may not be accurate. You get what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't,
Yeah.
it doesn't
it's
account for
not.
looking at shift.
It doesn't.
Now,
For the
all right.
matrix employees.
Yeah. Or them. yeah, that's
Now,
true.
do we have a department over here? Because I don't see it.
Mm-mm. It's
Department.
department ID, but that's department name, I think, description. It's just description, it's not a. But that's department ID, it looks like the RC. right?
Department description. Yeah, I should do it.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I
So
see that.
W and B.
Department description. So let's do it with that one. Department description. And the other is the job title. You're getting this, right?
Mm,
So you had,
Mhm.
so like right now I went into the slicer, right? So if you select it, you just remove the filter. But now if you want to create another slicer, you have to get back to the table or to the data.
Mhm.
So when you go to the pivot
Okay,
table
right,
analyze,
yeah.
then it lights up. If you're here, you may not see it, right? So you have to go inside.
Mhm.
So you get the analyzer and then you get the slicer.
Right.
And this is job title. Job title. It is grayed out because there's a filter here.
Right.
So let's say you filter
So if you
first
click
by
on one, it's only-
accounting, yeah,
so
it
should only
affects
show you, it should only show you the job titles that have.
for that
that are
one. Yeah.
accounting and
Mhm.
job title.
Yep. And completion date.
And there was also one other column there, got cut off. There was one other slicer, I forgot what it was.
The
Okay.
original, I pull up the
And
original.
it's right there, it was course name. Yeah, I think that was.
Course name.
Course name.
Mhm. Right. And you want also the completion date. So there's another one here for timeline. I believe this is the one she may have used.
Mm.
This is for the, you want it for the enroll or the status date, which one?
Status date.
Status date.
That's the
Mhm.
PPO completion.
Just this down. And she cannot complain now.
So when you click on the, so if you click on the status date up there on July, will it just give you July?
Yep.
Oh.
That's
okay.
very cool. That
Yeah.
one, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
How easy it is to do it, right? To just, as long as you have the proper data, then everything's gonna
Well,
be,
click on May. Let me
everything's
see.
gonna be
Click on
simple.
May. Let me see that. It's not changing any of the data. Oh, did we not select anything? Is that why?
May 2021,
But wait a
Let me see.
second. Status date is your completion date?
you tell me. Status date.
Wait, let me think. If this was pulled for 2022. So why would I have a completion of 21?
What class is that? Is it interviewing skills or leadership skills by chance?
It seems like all the date, the enroll date and the status data looks to be exactly the same.
What is that? Can we just see the 2021? Let's just see how many. Active business
Oh,
writing.
there's some blanks on status date.
Oh,
It's blank data.
that's what I was clicking on. Yep. Mhm.
Right,
So
so,
let's just do it 2021, right?
right, the only way status date would be populated is if you have a completion, is if your status here is completed.
Oh, all right, wait, listen, I got it, okay, yeah.
But
So you don't get it
something's-
right, you don't get a
something's
status
wrong
confirm.
here.
Huh?
Something's wrong here. You can't enroll somebody in 2022 and then have a completion of 21. See?
Yeah.
Up and scroll down to that data, of that, the 11/16/21. Double click on that, see what does that get?
Just a
Oh,
record.
it's not,
minus
it doesn't
sign,
fill,
yeah.
it doesn't fill out,
No.
okay.
Something's wrong there.
They all
And so
seem,
what
they
do
all
you
seem
say?
to be like that, right?
Okay,
Yeah.
completed. But they were completed.
Yeah, but
But
the
the-
completion date is wrong though. Please
Now,
don't-
what,
I'm
but
sorry.
do you mean
There's a
this is
reason why
the
I'm asking
completion?
that other question.
Status date is completion date.
Is it?
Mm,
Because you notice only your completed is populated.
Those look like enrolled first.
No,
Um,
this is your enrolled and
No, I'm saying is that you see how these are before, they're 1 month before the dates or a month or so before. It looks like these were the dates that they maybe requested it and it was marked into the system.
no, we don't capture that request date.
So worst case scenario, this may be wrong,
Mm.
but this is right.
Is it
That's
on a
what you care
specific
about.
Class or classes, or
Status
is
date,
it
right?
on a series?
So far, we're seeing it on manage your time, labor relations,
Yeah,
managing
yeah.
diversity.
Yeah, all of them.
Those are
basically.
MECC courses. So let me come around.
And labor
I'm
relations.
only half hearing because I'm trying to scrub some data over here. So what is it that you're seeing? Can you freeze your top row?
We're seeing a completion date after the enrollment date.
Yeah, but it seems to do it for all of them.
Asbestos. See, that's all the fit stuff too. Look at that. If you go back up to where you were just at, you're telling me that there's a date listed in the status date column that is predating the enrolled date. That's what you're saying, right? So.
For all of them,
Well,
leadership, government, community affairs.
Are
right.
those one-day classes?
So this
Um,
is listed on a multitude of them because you notice it was on the fit ones too, which is from Metro North.
Right, are they one-day classes?
I can't speak for fit. I know all of my classes are one-day classes.
Because if it's for the ones that are one-day classes, your enrollment date is the start date. So that can easily be fixed. But if it's a two-day class, it's something different, right? So for example, if
Anything.
this is a one-day class,
Mhm.
whatever's here is in your enrollment date would equal your completion date, right? If it's a one-day class.
If you could just repeat that. I mean, I just want to make sure I'm understanding it correctly.
So if it's a one-day class, right? If
Mhm.
it's an instructor-led one-day class.
Which that is.
Your enrollment date,
So she
would
enrolled
equal-
somebody on January 12th, 2022.
so let me back up a little bit.
Oh,
Your
okay.
enrollment date is your start date, the course start date,
Oh,
right?
so that's the date that I delivered the
So-
class. Okay.
It's the start date of the class. So if it's a one-day class,
Mhm.
then your enrolled date for completion can equal your status date. If it's a one-day class,
Mhm.
January 12th, you're gonna complete it January 12th.
Right.
But that's only if it's a one-day class,
And
right?
it's completed.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
you get what I'm saying? But now if this class is on the 12th and the 13th, I can't automatically say,
Right. Which, so none of the classes that fall under LIR MGT, none of them span more than one day. They are only half or full. That's it.
So that we can clean up.
But why I'm asking about that is I wondered if, I didn't know if that status date, because I can tell you based off that date right there, can you pull up January 12th just on a calendar? Like on a regular calendar, just so I can see what day of the week it's on? I just know that date, if it was January-ish, that is
Wednesday.
for, probably that was for a group of gang foremen that came through, right? And not that that matters to you guys, but if I knew that group of gang foremen was coming through, it's likely I would have sent the information to Pedrea to key into the system, but that's not the case in this one, because for gang foreman, I wouldn't have done that. So that's why it was a little different that it shows that 12/2 date. 12/2, can you back up the calendar to see what day of, what a 12/2 was on?
You mean on the
Backwards. Yeah.
December 12th?
Yeah.
Sunday.
Let me just look at my calendar, because I have everything on my calendar too.
Can you
What
go
are the two
to
dates?
completed?
It was December
Filter by
So
completed.
January 12th. Go back into
and
January.
12/2, I think.
So it's not a lot.
Was the other date, was the,
So no class was taught for labor relations on January 12th. If there was a labor relations class taught on January 26th,
I feel like these are gonna be that. So can you go back to the spreadsheet?
that
That we're
December
doing?
date,
All right, but one question. So this is
Uh-huh.
a completed class, right?
Uh-huh.
So the status, so how come there's no
Yes,
status
that's a
date on
problem.
this one?
That's a
Mm.
problem.
can you go back
You
to
know
that?
it's completed, just don't
Yeah.
have the date. So you're not gonna be able to put this here, because this is
But
not gonna
let's-
give you.
Let's think about
Mhm.
this for a minute,
Okay.
right? What's the value? Go back to where you were. What's the value of seeing how many people completed
In January,
in January?
none.
Can I
Okay,
throw one
hold
more
on.
wrench here for you guys for
Yeah.
just a second? Because if you go back to that labor relations course for a minute, the one that you had where it was showing you the different dates. The date that was listed in the status date field of December 2nd, that is the date that I held that class.
Okay,
Which one?
It was labor relations, LARMGT.
that was before we filtered by this.
So whatever you were just showing me where in the one column it said,
Mm-hmm.
so the one that showed, you've got it pulled up, I think,
112.
right there.
Mm-hmm.
So that, the date there where it says,
Yeah. that
yeah,
one.
that date of 12/2, that's the
Mhm.
date that class was delivered
Okay,
on property in site. Now, 1/12/2022, my question now becomes, so you know the process that we do. We don't send our rosters off until the month after.
Right.
So the class is already in the system. People are getting enrolled in it. I held the class on 12/2. January is when I would have sent the rosters to Bedrea for all of my classes that were held in the month of December. So I don't know where the 1/12 date came from, but that date of December 2nd, 2021 is the date that I held that class.
Mhm.
And
I
if
have
you
to
need me to
look-
verify any of the other ones, I can verify those for you as well, because I
No.
know I have it on my calendar what days we teach those.
I have to look at the query. I didn't write the query.
Sure.
IT wrote the query, so I'd have to see what field they're actually pulling
Status
status
versus
date,
enroll.
what record they're pulling from.
Because from my end, that would make sense saying if that enroll date is like the date that she closed it out, saying like I've listed everybody that attended or didn't attend or skipped it or whatever, then that would make sense from my perspective because I held the class in December and she would have had my rosters in January of this year.
So,
But I don't know about the others. I can't speak for those.
Right.
Just only LARMGT.
so let's look at this and say what would be of that, right? So this is giving who completed,
as.
who
Okay.
completed.
Mhm.
So what if we say, so Raphael, to
Yep.
determine who completed with our,
Hold on one second,
Oh, sorry.
because, I mean, it looks like they just threw the slicer over there because it looks pretty.
Mhm.
but it doesn't seem like, you know, you have like, I mean, why is January empty? Right?
Right.
So it goes back to,
Right.
doesn't really serve any purpose in there.
So why don't we do this? Why not display what courses we had in those months? Right? As opposed to saying who completed, why not, let's say we had, you know, 1 access class in January, 5 class, you know what I mean?
Right, but this is not gonna do it. Because this will be based on whatever data
The
Mhm.
date.
you have on, yeah, whatever dates you have on your data.
Right,
So
so
I
I'm saying
know,
to
yeah.
change it, right?
Mhm. Right.
So could we say,
Mhm.
can you go back to this?
And sorry to say, but you got 5 more minutes of
Okay.
Rafa.
All right.
Uh,
Because we already have how many people were in a class.
Yep.
Right here,
Right.
right?
Right.
So now let's give other data. So now let's say how many courses were offered. So determine how many courses are offered is based on a unique class code, right?
Okay.
So you have course 0002,
mhm.
and then all the unique codes here equal how many times you delivered that class. So
Right.
let's do that.
So you want another one like this, but
Nope,
like,
I
okay,
want to put back this,
okay,
but for the data that's here, I want to show how many courses were taught.
oh, I
Let me
see,
think.
okay, that
How
would
many
be, yeah.
courses were taught in that month, right?
Right,
We're
Because
taking-
we
yeah.
haven't given that yet.
Right, we don't have that. We don't have
Right.
that, right. But wait, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So that's a good question. How are we gonna?
What
kinda-
data, yeah, what
what are
data
we gonna
produces
use
that
when we
result?
use that
Okay,
for the
so go
course
back
dates
to
of the month?
go to this.
Mhm.
So to say how many courses were taught that month would be based on enrollment date.
Okay, so we can put the enrollment date there.
So we're accepting that enrollment date is the course, is the actual, the same as the course completion date.
No,
Or at
right
least
now,
well, it could be the. could
when
be
the course was
start date,
offered.
Start date.
when it was offered,
Oh,
whether you
offered.
started, ended. No, let me not joke around, but no, seriously,
Yeah, that would.
right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Because now we've given
Mhm.
participants, courses, and then we
Oh, wait
drilled
a
it
minute. So,
down.
maybe there were no courses in August. Is that possible? Why was there no data in August?
May not be courses in August, yeah, but they are in July and September,
September? No?
Yep.
No
Oh.
September? Oh. And then go October? Oh, now we
October,
got-
November.
Maybe was that the end
December.
of the data?
Yep,
No, really?
this is 2002,
because we're
yep.
not-
Mhm.
Oh, we're only doing
But
22.
yeah.
Oh, okay, right,
Yep.
right, of course. It's this year. We haven't gotten past that. Okay. That's why there was no August. It's June. No more, okay? July, and that's it.
That's it.